Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBMI RPG sample video. If you are following my channel, you already know that I was talking about split and for each in my last video. I'd like to talk about for each a little more because I think it is a fantastic operation that we can use to improve our code, making it more readable. So let's go. Well, as always, I'm using VSCode and Code for I, that, as you know, is the best way for coding on the IBMI using a modern and free tool. Please don't waste your time using CU, it is old and useless. You can watch other of my videos in my channel where I talk about Code for I, how to install it and how to use it on the IBMI. Well, let's talk about for each. As you know, for each is used for going through an array, a subarray, a list, a split, or an enumeration, processing the items one at a time. The operation needs a variable as an operand that cannot be an array, and in every loop you can make operations with the content of that variable. All changes made to that variable doesn't make changes in the original array position. That is important to know. The variable is just a copy of every position. Okay, a simple use of for each could be something like this. I have prepared a simple program in RPG, that is this one. Let me open it. Is this one. Well, as you see, I'm declaring an array of numbers here. It is an auto array, so the number of elements inside it will be defined just adding positions to it. So I'm adding 3 positions here using next, and later I'm using for each for going through the array, writing the content of every node of the array, that is a number, to the job log. Well, it is very easy. For each knows the number of elements in the array, and in this case, as the array is an auto array, it will go only from the first position to the last position with data inside. If the array is a normal array, it will go from the first to the last position declared. Okay? Be careful with this, because if you have not initialized the array, you can have wrong data inside and you'll get an error. Well, let me compile the program and let's see how it works on the green screen. And okay, let me start a debug session. Okay, and let me stop the program here and let's call it. Well, here I'm initializing the array, so the number of positions inside the array is 0. Okay, so if I see numbers in position 1, I don't have anything inside. Okay, well, now I'm adding 3 positions. Okay, so numbers 1 is this, and this. Okay, and now with for each I'm going through the array, and for each is copying the position, every position inside the variable number. Okay, and I'm writing it to the job log. So this is what I'm getting if I see my job log 1, 5 and 8. Okay, so as you can see, for each works fine. Well, let me close this, and well, let's improve our program a little more. Imagine that we want to use an array that in every position doesn't have a simple data type as a number. I'm going to have a structure in every position. How can I do it? Well, for that I can use templates in the definition of the array and the node, or I can define the node as a structure, and after that I can define the array as a number of nodes. You can do it in the way you prefer. I prefer to do it using templates because it's more elegant. Also, sometimes you have to write more. For example, let me change the program that I made before using a template, and you'll see how easy it is. I can do this, number number t. Okay, and now we can do something like this. This is like this, and this is like, okay, it is completely the same, but I think it is more elegant. Okay, well, you might think that the template is not necessary here. Okay, that's right, it's just an example, but imagine that you are going to use the same type in more places in the program. Sometimes it's easier to write a like and a predefined type with a clear name than to write the data type and its size all the time. Also, when we want to make changes in programs where the same type is used a lot, changing the template saves a lot of time and errors. Well, in the same way, I have prepared another program. Let me open it. Here I'm using a template again to define my data structure. Okay. Then I'm using the template to define the array, and after that the node, because I will need to use it with for each. Well, here I'm initializing the array and adding 2 positions to the array with the information inside. And here I'm doing the same as in the other program, just writing the content of the array to the job log. Okay, well, let me compile the program and let's see how it works on the green screen. Okay, let me open a debug session again. And let me stop it here and let's call it. Well, here I'm initializing the array and I'm adding information into 2 positions in the array. Okay, and as in the other example, I'm going through the array with for each, and it is copying the positions of every position of the array into my variable node. Okay, for example, node now is this. Okay, and I'm writing it into the job log, and the next node is this, and I'm writing it to the job log. Okay, if I see, this is the information that I have inside the array. Okay, as you have seen, for each is a great operation code that we can use to improve our programs, just for making them more readable. Remember that every for each loop can be replaced for a for loop. It is the same. The only difference is that in every loop we are using the content of the variable to make our operations. In the other case, I'm using directly the node of the array. If you want to change the information inside the array, then the best option will be a normal for loop, because the information inside the variable used with for each is just a copy of every position inside the array. I hope you liked the video and that it was useful to you. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.